Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is the weekend, so let's do the whole doggone thing. Saturday, the 24th day of August is National Hug Your Boss Day. You're my boss. Get over here. Get over here. It's also National Waffle Day. I wonder if that means like the food waffle, or I'm trying to decide whether or not to do something.
Whether or not to get waffles?
Yeah, now I
You're
kind of want
waffling
waffles.
on
No, I
whether
don't
you
want
want
waffles
waffles.
anymore. I bet I kind of do. International Strange Music Day, National Knife Day. You can use that knife to cut your National Peach Pie Day.
You love peach pie.
I do indeed. It's also Pluto Demoted Day. This is sadly the day that they said you're no longer a planet. And then Pluto
Poor Pluto.
had a tear running down the side and said, okay, I'm just a big old ball of nothing. Sunday, August 25th, National Banana Split Day. I cannot speak for some reason. National Kiss and Makeup Day. Second Hand Wardrobe Day. Whiskey Sour Day, and Social Justice Sunday. It's a busy, busy weekend. All of that happening, and I have a guest, Chris Epting, and he is an author helping other authors. We'll chat all about that coming up.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. It seems that the blue light emanating from our electronic devices can have a negative effect on more than just our eyes and our sleep. Evidence is still emerging, but some dermatologists are warning that blue light can be bad for our skin. Blue light might damage collagen, a protein essential for skin structure, potentially accelerating the formation of wrinkles. Yeah. Studies also suggest exposure to blue light can stimulate production of melanin, the natural pigment that gives skin its color. Too much blue light then could worsen hyperpigmentation, leading to dark spots on your skin. Especially in those with darker skin in the first place. We already know that light from our devices can have a negative effect on sleep. It stands to reason that there's also visible signs of sleep deprivation to deal with. So the skin around your eyes could become even more dull and more puffy. So, in other words, what they're saying is, keep your phones away from your face, apparently.
Limit your exposure to blue light.
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that Papua New Guinea is the home to one of the world's few poisonous birds? It's the hooded pitahua. P-I-T-O-H-U-I. How would you say that? Petua?
I have no idea.
Pitahua, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to be hanging out with any of these things anytime soon, so I don't need to know how to call them or anything. So, yeah, that's just weird that there's a poisonous bird.
Yeah.
So they peck you? I don't know what happens. I'm moving on. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. The whole gang is returning to Dancing with the Stars season 33. Yeah. Can you believe that? 33? So there's several people that have been involved now for several years, but a lot of them, everybody that was involved in season 32 is back. And then that is going to premiere, by the way, on Tuesday, September 17th. So set your VCRs. What's that? Nobody has those anymore? Okay. And George Clooney's upset at Quentin Tarantino. Why? Because Quentin Tarantino said that George Clooney is, quote, not a movie star.
Okay.
All right. So he said he's not a movie star because he hasn't been in a hit since the millennium.
Oh.
So he's like, yeah, he's not. And Clooney's not having a good day.
Why would he even be talking about
I don't know.
Clooney?
Clooney's not having a good day because Russian authorities have also declared George Clooney's nonprofit, quote, undesirable, and they blocked it from operating in their country.
Oh, my.
The Clooney Foundation for Justice was set up in 2016, and it's not available everywhere, apparently. So that's your big screen, little screen report brought to you by radiosavings.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. According to a poll, 30% of people feel that money is more important than friends. I disagree completely. 30%, though, believe that. Doesn't that seem weird?
Well, if you got enough money,
Wait a minute.
you'll have a lot of friends.
Do you think that? I hope you don't think that. Do you think that, Heidi? That
I don't have friends the way it is, so I'd rather have money.
Oh, you have friends. 30% of people feel that money is more important than friends. Now, I disagree. I think if you have friends, that matters a lot more. So let's be friends, especially if you have money. So just kidding. And I knew that driving would eventually come to this. Cars are now talking to one another, and drivers
Oh
are
my gosh.
with not much to do except, play their phones, apparently. U.S. Department of Transportation has laid out a road safety plan that will lead to cars communicating with other cars. So they have a V2X, which means vehicle to everything technology. It will enable your vehicle to stay in touch with, other vehicles and with pedestrians and with cyclists and other road users and roadside
Meaning what?
infrastructure.
Like they talk to them?
It will communicate with it to know that it's there and to, look out for it. And let them all share information like their position, their speed, as well as road conditions. They'd be able to do so in situations with poor visibility. So let's say that you're in an area where you're going around a corner or there's dense fog.
Say a blizzard and there's a snowplow in front of you.
Yeah, I smashed into a snowplow one time in a blizzard. I think that's what Heidi was talking about. Is that what you were talking about, Heidi?
Yes, that's what I was
kind of
talking
thought
about.
so. Countrywide rollout would require a system of mobile in-vehicle and roadside tech that would communicate efficiently and securely while protecting people's personal information. Safety advocates claim that tech could prevent hundreds of thousands of crashes and it could minimize the severity of collisions by reducing the speed of impact. They hope to have the system fully deployed across national highway system by 2036. Here's my question for you. What about deer? What about dogs? What about
deer.
rabbits? What about, any sort of animals? Because they're not going to be connected to this. So I think we just keep looking. Use your eyes. Use your senses. I don't know.
Continue to drive
Weird
properly.
story to me. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit with Chris Epting. He's the author of a book called Where One Hears the Rain, Finding Your Voice and Crafting Your Story from Inspiration to Publication. So, Chris, you are an author helping other authors. That's kind of a cool thing to do.
Well, I like to think I'm helping really anybody because I think, author's kind of a daunting term. I think everyone's got a story or two that's worth sharing. And I've taught this for so long now and worked with so many amazing people in co-writing memoirs. I thought, you know what? Why not put everything together so that whatever your goal is, it'll be in the book. I wanted this to be as exhaustive and comprehensive a writing book as possible. From the first time you get an idea to getting it published, I walk you through everything with stories and anecdotes and prompts and assignments and all sorts of things because I really do think that everyone's got this in them if you just take a minute and think about it.
How long did it take to put this together? When you go to put a book like this together, does this take months? Does it take years?
That's a good question. I mean, the book starts when I'm about 12 years old, being mentored by the great fiction writer John Cheever. I may have thought about it back then, but as far as sitting down and writing, this book took me about 3 years. I've been teaching memoir for about 10 years, and I've written with everyone from John Oates to the Doobie Brothers, to some really cool people. And so I wanted to put all these stories together, stories about my writing experiences, things I've learned from students, and just what I think the rules of the road are. And I had also never really unpacked those adventures with John Cheever as a kid. And here's this amazing literary lion giving me sort of passing down this torch.
Yeah.
And so the book does that as well. So there's all kinds of things in here, but I would say about three years or so to get it ready, get the manuscript ready to a point where it could be published. And I had a good publisher who was excited about it. So yeah, about 3 years.
And a whole lifetime of information to make it only take 3 years.
Well, that's the thing. That's why it was probably always, simmering in my brain through every writing project. This would be cool to share, because I got to see so many, especially working with big name people. You see things that are really cool, and you learn things that are really interesting. And so I always thought, well, it'd be fun. Why am I the only one that gets to sit on this tour bus working on this book, having this revelatory moment about storytelling? And now I could share these things in a way that hopefully helps the reader think, hey, you know what? This is kind of cool. I give this a shot. I'm gonna try and tell at least one of my stories.
I love that.
And that's the other part too. We all know family members and friends that think about telling their story. I would love this to be participatory and collaborative, where you share the word and say, hey, you know what? You've got a cool story. You should write your story. I like when people pick up on that and kind of spread the word as storytelling advocates.
And I guarantee you there are at least somebody listening that has an idea for a book, because there are so many people that have this thought in their mind, but they don't always act on it. And what you're doing is giving them a comprehensive guide to be able to say, okay, what do I do first? How do I even make this happen? So you're kind of giving a step-by-step guide on how to hopefully have success with this book.
From the very beginning, from the simple basics of making a list of a handful of things in your life that matter. A sentence. People think, I can't write. We start with just a couple of sentences, and that's it. And then from there, I go through a whole storytelling process. And like I said, it's almost like a cookbook of writing in a sense, where there's recipes and there's, all these different ingredients that, depending on how you structure them to your own selfish taste, will help you craft what you want. And I think it's important. We all approach things differently.
Absolutely.
But I just try and put all the rudimentary basics in there to make it fun and interesting and compelling. It should never feel like drudgery. I mean, storytelling, I don't even call it writing all the time, but storytelling. That should be cathartic and therapeutic, exciting and interesting and engaging. That's what I try and get to the heart of, is how can you tell a better story? Storytelling is our oldest and most practiced art form. And everyone, I think, most people don't even realize the stories they're sitting on, because it's just your life. Like, you don't think of it as being that compelling because you're living it. You're in the middle of it. Yeah. But I think what I try and encourage people in the book is to take a step back at a certain point and look at those moments that you've been through that are unique, that other people could learn something from.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, sir.
Anytime. I appreciate the invite. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Again, the new book is out now, Where One Hears the Rain, Finding Your Voice and Crafting Your Story from Inspiration to Publication. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In some parts of Africa, ostriches are used to herd sheep. That's kind of cool.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd never really thought of that. That's kind of neat, though. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
28% of household injuries in the summertime are caused by yard work. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heidi's always got me out doing yard work, and I'm always telling her how hurt I am. I'm like, I can't. I'm not going to be able to do this one. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You would have to walk 5 miles or 8 kilometers to burn off the calories in a single hot fudge sundae. It's a lot of walking. Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It is estimated that you'll spend a year of your life looking for misplaced objects. I have to spend way more than that. I'm always losing stuff.
Always looking for something.
And I just moved stuff from one office to another. I can't find anything. I think it's all in this giant stack right over here, but I don't know for sure. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Shrimp can only swim backwards, which would kind of make that forwards for them, wouldn't it? You'd think.
Interesting.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. The average family has 8 of these in their home. I know we have more than 8. What are they?
Vacuum cleaners.
No. The average family does not have 8 of those. We currently have a bunch of vacuum cleaners. Heidi bought a bunch of vacuum cleaners with a vacuum cleaner sales pitch. She's like, we're going to sell these and make all this money. And then she's not touched them. Got a whole garage stall filled with vacuum cleaners. No, the answer was coffee mugs.
Oh.
Coffee mugs, yeah. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of the Vacuum Emporium. No. Mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The founder of Spanx, Sarah Blakely, thinks that she has the next essential accessory for the busy modern woman: high-heeled sneakers. Yeah, she posted an Instagram message teasing a luxury hybrid stiletto and high-heel sneaker. She added that the launch is slated for tomorrow. That was last week, so apparently they're out. But Inc. magazine found that she has a new website, Sneeks, SNEEX.com, and it was already up at the time they wrote the story. They offered high-heel sneakers made of Napa leather, mesh, and suede, engineered to eliminate pain points that are common with high heels. The sneakers, how much do you suppose a pair of sneaks would cost, Heidi?
I'm going to say $800.
Oh, no, a bargain at just $395 up to $595 per pair. So, yeah, I'm not going to be rushing right out to get any, but if you want them,
Do you have a picture of them? Are they cute?
There's a website, sneaks.com, SNEEX.com. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A lot of folks know that AirTags are pretty handy for tracking down luggage when it's misplaced, but there's all kinds of stuff that you can use these things for, like this. It says key and wallet tracking. So if you're losing your keys, you're losing your wallet, they say if you slip an AirTag in your wallet or attach it to a key ring, you never have to worry ever about losing those things again. Pet tracking. They say it's really easy to fit on a pet collar. You can buy pet collars that have AirTag attachments very easily, and then you'll never have to say, hey, I can't find my dog. Have you seen him? You just look on your phone and go, oh, that's where he is. He's right over there.
Oh, interesting.
Bike and scooter security. People steal these things, and they go, hey, if you hide this on there, you know where it is. Remote control finder. So if you ever lose the remote, there's a way to find it with an AirTag. Child safety, depending on your kid's age, if you attach an AirTag, it says sewing it into their coat or attaching to their book bag can help. Senior safety, if you're worried about mom or grandma or grandpa or whatever, you can connect them to an AirTag as well. That sounds weird the way I just said that. And workplace tools and equipment. I could see that big time. So if somebody has like a toolbox full of tools, they can attach these.
That happens a lot.
I don't have any AirTags for anything because I have nothing worth stealing. So the list is brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote is from Eric Segal, who says, True love comes quietly, without banners or flashing lights. If you hear bells, get your ears checked.
Okay.
So what do you think? When you and I met, were there sparks? Were there bells? Was it just kind of snuck up and you're like, hey, now we've been married almost 25 years? I don't know. I think that there were some bells. There were
bells.
There were bells.
You didn't hear bells.
I met you and I heard all kinds of noise. It was that laugh. That's what I heard. And I'm like, oh, hey, I love that laugh. I'm marrying her. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Now, we've had different kinds of good news. This is just kind of I think it's neat that it's happening kind of good news. Record-breaking sighting. Grizzly bears spotted with 5 cubs in Yellowstone. So nature lovers and wildlife enthusiasts were treated to a rare and extraordinary sight in Yellowstone National Park. A grizzly bear spotted with a record-breaking 5 bear cubs in tow. The remarkable sighting is unprecedented in the entire history of Yellowstone. The litter of this size has never been observed. They've never seen 5 cubs. So a spokesperson for the park highlighted just how unusual this event is. It says, noting that the average grizzly litter size is typically 2. Nearly half of all cubs don't survive their first year. The survival of this quintet will be closely monitored by park officials and visitors alike.
Very cool.
The first video of the extraordinary family was captured by a local YouTuber, Stan Mills, who managed to film the mother bear and her 5 cubs along the Specimen Ridge Agate Creek Trail. I don't know if I said any of that right. Then another video filmed by wildlife guide Bo Weldon shared with his excitement with viewers. It says, see the mother bear with the 5 cubs will always be a highlight, a moment from my guiding career. This video, though, was just darn fun. I'm not going to add any music to it because you can hear the level of excitement from me and my guests.
Very cool.
That is really cool. And there's other videos, too. As you scroll through, they've got quite a few of them shared. I've got a link to the story if you want to see this. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I know you have a lot of options. You could spend a lot of time doing whatever you want to do. We appreciate the fact that you spend your time listening to my beautiful bride, Heidi, and I on the John and Heidi Show. Again, thanks for listening this weekend. Have a great day.